beautiful as this. Okay, so then there's another thing that I like think a lot of people don't know, and that is that Erdogan also brought back the Hagia Sophia back to life as a mosque. I think a lot of people know what Hagia Sophia looks like. It's probably one of the most famous mosques of Turkey, if not the most famous. And during Atatürk's rule, he banned Muslims from praying there. Okay, like that's 1935. Like that's crazy. And so you have to understand the Hagia Sophia was conquered in 1453 when the Muslims they conquered Constantinople, and they basically
Some say there's also a hadith saying that the Banu Ishaq, they didn't necessarily say Israel, they said Banu Ishaq would take over the city that's part water, part land, something like that. I'm not a muhadith nor a hafiz, but something was similar to that. And they're saying that all the hadith was saying that. I'm not saying that all hadith are wrong, and I'm not saying none of them don't have any wisdom, and some of them do come to fruition, but it has to be under a fine comb, and then under that comb has to be a fine sifter, and then under that a fine magna glass, metaphorically speaking, to really go through these things. All right, let's proceed.
made it a church, they made it into a mosque. You know, the Muslims did that. And then what did Atatürk do? He actually stripped it of its prayers and he downgraded it to a museum. And so for decades, you couldn't even find a simple prayer room inside this mosque. Like that's how far they went to erase worship from, you know, this beautiful place. And then in 2020, Erdogan, he flipped the script and restored it to what it was always meant to be, a mosque. Alhamdulillah. And so I do want to give him a lot of credits for that. What made me laugh when I started getting into this story is that, you know, nobody other than a Turkish Nobel Prize winning author in literature, his name is Orhan Pamuk, he objected against Sophia Hagia, you know, the famous mosque in Istanbul, being used as a mosque again. I don't know if you know this, but the Nobel Prize is a highly Jewish prize. Like, I'm not gonna lie, okay? 22% of the winners have been Jewish, despite Jewish people compromising less than 0.2% of the world's.
That is crazy. Not even 1%. I thought it was like 1%.